Welcome to the Behavior Code. I'm your host, Maria.
And I'm Gabriel. It's great to be here.
So, Gabe, to kick things off today, I want to tell you a story. It's about a friend of mine. We'll call her Sarah. Sarah was universally liked. You know the type, just easygoing, funny, always there for everyone.
Yeah, the social glue.
Exactly. And she got this massive promotion at her job, a huge step up. For the first week, it was exactly what you'd expect. Everyone was celebrating her, taking her out for drinks. You deserve this.
The honeymoon period.
Right, but then something shifted. It was really subtle at first. Her usual lunch group would sort of forget to invite her, or conversations would stop dead the moment she walked into the break room.
Oof, that's a cold feeling. It's like you can feel the air change.
She felt it. Then it got more obvious. Little sarcastic jabs in meetings, disguised as jokes. Whispers she couldn't quite hear. People who used to be her closest allies were suddenly cold, distant. And she was just baffled because, in her mind, she was still the same Sarah.
And I bet everyone listening has felt some version of that. Maybe it wasn't a promotion. Maybe you lost weight, or got into a happy relationship, or just started getting your life together. And suddenly, the people you expected to be cheering for you, weren't. And that's the real crux of the confusion, isn't it? From her perspective, her internal world, her personality, her intentions, they haven't changed at all. But from their perspective, her external world has changed, which means, to them, she must have changed. The disconnect is jarring.
It's so disorienting. And that's what we're diving into today. The hidden reason people turn against you. Because here's the secret. It's almost never about what you think it is. It's rarely because you suddenly became a jerk. She started questioning herself, Did I say something wrong? Am I being arrogant? Maybe I'm imagining it. She tried to bring it up with one of her closer work friends, and the friend just brushed it off, saying, "Oh, you're just being sensitive. Nothing's changed." But everything had changed. It was like she was suddenly on the outside of a club she didn't even know she was a member of.
Right. The reason they give is usually a cover for something much deeper, something they're probably not even aware of themselves. It's all happening on a subconscious level. It's the behavior code.
Let's crack it open.
Okay, so the first piece of the puzzle is understanding how deeply we are wired to recognize social hierarchy. It's primal. From the playground to the boardroom, we are constantly, subconsciously tracking our status relative to others.
Who's up, who's down, who's in, who's out.
Precisely. And our brains crave stability in that system. We like knowing the rules. I know my role, you know your role. And as long as we all stay in our designated lanes, everything feels safe and predictable.
It's comfortable. It's like we all silently agree to the social contract of the group. I won't outshine you in this area if you don't outshine me in that area. We all just agree to stay in our places so nobody feels insecure. It's like we all silently agree to the social contract of the group. I won't outshine you in this area if you don't outshine me in that area. We all just agree to stay in our places so nobody feels insecure.
And that mediocrity it's a form of safety. It's predictable. But when you disrupt that, you're not just celebrating a win, you're violating a treaty. You're showing everyone that the ceiling they thought was solid is actually permeable. And that's terrifying for someone who has built their identity on the comfort of that ceiling.
It's like we all silently agree to the social contract of the group. I won't outshine you in this area if you don't outshine me in that area. We all just agree to stay in our places so nobody feels insecure. I think it's crucial to add that this isn't always malicious. Not always. Sometimes it's just confusion. The person who has changed status, like Sarah, suddenly has a new set of problems, a new set of daily experiences. Her old friends might not know how to relate to her anymore. The common ground has shrunk.
Very. But when someone, like your friend Sarah, suddenly gets a big promotion, her status shifts upwards, and that single event sends a shockwave through her entire social ecosystem. That's a great point. And it highlights how the other person's reaction isn't necessarily a judgment on your success, but a reflection of their own discomfort with change. They had a mental model of who you were, and you've just broken it. And their brain is scrambling to assemble a new one, and the easiest, quickest way to do that is to slap a negative label on it. Oh, she's arrogant now. It's a simple, though incorrect explanation that restores their sense of order.
She's gone off script.
That's a great point. And it highlights how the other person's reaction isn't necessarily a judgment on your success, but a reflection of their own discomfort with change. They had a mental model of who you were, and you've just broken it. And their brain is scrambling to assemble a new one, and the easiest, quickest way to do that is to slap a negative label on it. Oh, she's arrogant now. It's a simple, though incorrect, explanation that restores their sense of order. She's torn up the script, and everyone else's brain has to scramble to recalibrate. Wait, Sarah isn't just our peer anymore. She's a boss. How do we act around her now? What does this mean for my position? And it's classic cognitive dissonance, right? The brain is holding two opposing ideas. I like my friend Sarah, and Sarah's success makes me feel insecure. To resolve that uncomfortable feeling, one of those ideas has to change. It's much, much harder to change the feeling of insecurity, so the brain takes the path of least resistance. It changes the first idea to, I don't think I like Sarah anymore. She's changed. It's a subconscious self-preservation tactic for their own ego.
And that's where the danger comes in, right? Because if she's moved up, it can feel like everyone else has been pushed down by comparison.
That is the absolute heart of it. It's the psychology of envy. Envy isn't about wanting what you have. It's about resenting you for having it. Your success doesn't just feel like a win for you. On an emotional, irrational level, it feels like a loss for them.
Even if nothing in their life has actually changed.
Especially then, it's not logical, it's emotional. They preferred the old you, the you that was on their level, the you that didn't make them question their own achievements or status. The new you is a threat to their comfort.
This leads directly into what I call the success effect. It's one of the most painful paradoxes in human relationships.
Which is,
people will support your struggle, but they'll punish your success.
wow, yeah, say more about that.
Think about it. When you're down on your luck, you got laid off, you're going through a bad breakup, you're trying to get a project off the ground and failing, people are often amazing. They bring you food, they listen, they give advice.
Of course, because in that dynamic, they're in the position of strength. They're the helper. It feels good to be the rescuer. It affirms their own stability and status.
They get to be the hero of your story. But what happens when you don't need rescuing anymore? What happens when you get an even better job, or your business finally takes off?
The dynamic flips.
It flips completely. You're not their project anymore. You're their peer, or maybe you've even surpassed them. Their role as helper is gone, and the relationship that was built on that dynamic of your struggle, it suddenly has no foundation.
The support was conditional. It was conditioned on you staying down.
Exactly. I saw this so clearly with a friend who decided to get sober. When he was the party guy, always a mess, everyone loved having him around. He made them feel responsible.
Right? A lovable disaster.
Totally. The second he got sober, started going to the gym, got his life together, those same friends said he was boring now or judgmental. They stopped inviting him out.
Because his success and discipline threatened their own lifestyle.
It really did. His growth was an inconvenient truth. It's a tragic part of the human condition. From the perspective of the person growing, you're just trying to better your life. You're not trying to attack anyone. But from the outside, your success can feel like a personal affront.
I had a similar experience, on a much smaller scale. I decided to run a marathon. For months, while I was getting up at 5 a.m. to train, complaining about my sore muscles, my friends were my biggest cheerleaders. You're so disciplined. We're so proud of you. It was all positive.
Let me guess. The marathon itself, the day you crossed the finish line, that wasn't the problem, was it?
Exactly. The race was fine. They showed up, they cheered, they posted pictures. The problem was after the race. It was when I kept getting up early to run because I found I loved it. It was when I started talking about negative splits and race nutrition. Suddenly the comments shifted. Wow, you're still doing that? Or don't you ever take a day off? The support for the struggle was immense, but the support for the new identity, the runner identity, that's when it became a problem. My new discipline was a mirror to their inactivity, and they didn't like what they saw.
The mirror effect. I like that.
Sometimes people turn against you not because of your success itself, but because your success holds up a giant, unflattering mirror to their own inaction, to their own fears.
Oof, yes. If you quit your job to start a business, you are a living, breathing reminder to your coworker who complains constantly but is too afraid to leave.
Exactly. You're not even saying anything. Your actions are doing all the talking. Your discipline highlights their lack of it. Your courage highlights their fear. Your happiness can even feel like a judgment on their unhappiness.
It makes them profoundly uncomfortable.
Deeply. And at that point, a person has a choice. Choice A, get inspired. Look at you and say, wow, if they can do it, maybe I can too. And then do the hard work of self-reflection and change.
Which is very difficult.
Or choice B, resent you, tear you down, find a reason why your success is a fluke, or undeserved, or not that great anyway. Oh, he only wrote that book because he has no social life.
It's a coping mechanism. It's easier to shoot the messenger than to heed the message.
That's a perfect way to put it. They're not actually attacking you. They are attacking the mirror you're holding up. By discrediting you, they give themselves permission to stay right where they are, safe in their comfort zone. And the anger they feel toward themselves for not changing gets projected outward, onto you.
And that projection is a defense mechanism, because if they can convince themselves that you are flawed, that you're arrogant, or you got lucky, or you're selfish, then they don't have to face the painful truth that they are simply afraid. It's not about you. It's about protecting their own ego from the reality of their stagnation. All of this, the status anxiety, the mirror effect, it gets amplified inside social groups. Because every group, whether it's your friends from college, your family, or your book club, is its own little self-regulating system.
An ecosystem with a very delicate balance.
Right, and in that system, everyone has a role. You have the funny one, the organizer, the wise one, the drama queen. These roles keep things predictable.
And this is especially true in families. The roles are often set in childhood. The responsible older sibling, the rebellious younger one.
Yes, and the system works to keep everyone in their box. But what happens when the rebel goes to therapy, builds a successful career, and becomes the most stable one in the family?
The whole system gets thrown into chaos, because if he's not the rebel, then who is everyone else? The responsible one might suddenly feel their identity is threatened.
Exactly, and the group's immune system kicks in. It will try to pull you back into your old role. This is where you get the teasing, the guilt trips. Oh, look at Mr. Corporate now, too good for us. Or, I remember when you used to be fun.
It's behavioral policing. They're trying to correct your deviation to restore the group's equilibrium.
It's so true. So when your friends or family push back against your growth, it's sometimes not even a personal attack. It's systemic. Your change is forcing them to change, and the group is instinctively resisting because change is uncomfortable and threatening. You're the agent of that discomfort.
And it's so primal. This instinct to maintain the group structure. It's a survival mechanism. In our evolutionary past, being ostracized from the group was a death sentence. So we have this deeply ingrained fear of being cast out, and conversely, a deep-seated instinct to enforce the group's norms to ensure its survival, and by extension, our own. Okay, so for everyone listening who's nodding along, feeling like this is happening to me, it can be maddening because it's so subtle. You start to think you're imagining things.
It's a form of social gaslighting. So let's get really concrete. What are the specific warning signs, the red flags, that people are starting to turn against you for these hidden reasons?
Number one, for me, is the backhanded compliment. It's the Trojan horse of insults.
Yes, the absolute classic. Like, wow, I'm so impressed you spoke up in that meeting. I could never be that aggressive.
Perfect. It praises the action but insults the character. Or, your new house is so great, it must be nice to not have to worry about money. It acknowledges the success, but attributes it to something other than your hard work. It's a way to put you back in your place.
Okay, sign number 2, enthusiastic support is replaced by lukewarm tolerance. You share good news, and instead of a genuine congratulations, you get a flat, oh, nice.
The verbal pat on the head, or they immediately pivot the conversation back to themselves or to something mundane. Anything to avoid sitting in the reality of your success for more than a second.
A third one is subtle exclusion. You're the last to find out about plans. You see the photos from the party you weren't invited to. It's a way of physically enacting the social distance they feel. They're pushing you to the perimeter of the group.
And a fourth, which is really insidious, is when they start using we and you're not in it. We were all just saying the other day. It's a way of signaling that a consensus has been formed, and you are the topic of discussion, not a part of it.
That's a powerful one. And finally, there's just overt criticism and sarcasm. The friend who used to be your biggest offender now questions all your decisions, and jokes at your expense become the primary mode of communication. It's hostility wearing a just kidding mask.
So, putting this all together, it can feel devastating. It can make you question everything. Was it my fault? Did I become arrogant? Maybe I should just go back to how I was.
That's the impulse, to shrink, to stop shining so brightly because it's making other people squint. You start downplaying your achievements, you stop talking about your good news. And there's a spectrum to this, too. It's not always a binary choice between shrinking or leaving the relationship. Sometimes the path forward is to try and have a conversation about it. But you have to be prepared for the fact that they may not be able to hear you because they're not consciously aware of why they're doing what they're doing.
You try to contort yourself back into the small box they were comfortable with you being in.
But we are here to tell you that this is the most important moment. This is the crossroads, and the one thing you must not do is shrink.
Because if people are turning against you because you are healing, growing, succeeding, or finding happiness, their reaction is not a sign of your failure. It is the clearest possible evidence of your growth.
It's a painful rite of passage. It means you are leveling up in life, and not everyone in your current circle has the capacity to level up with you.
You have to realize that their behavior is a reflection of their own inner world, their insecurities, their fears, their limitations. It is not, and was never, about you.
And your only responsibility is to your own journey. Your only job is to keep growing. The people who are truly meant to be in your life will either grow with you or they will cheer you on from where they are.
The ones who try to pull you down were never part of your destiny. Letting them go isn't an act of cruelty. It's an act of loyalty to your own future.
So our final thought is this. Don't let the fear of being misunderstood or abandoned keep you from becoming who you're meant to be. Let them whisper. Let them leave. Your job is to build a life so full and authentic that you don't even hear them anymore. Keep going.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning in to The Behavior Code.
You can find more episodes wherever you get your podcasts. If this one helped you, please consider sharing it. I'm Maria.
And I'm Gabriel. Until next time.